Prologue. The birth of a god, Ethan Vale was no one. A nameless face in the crowd, just another soul scraping by in a world that never noticed him. But everything changed the day he woke up with the power to summon anything he desired. At first it was small things. A cup of coffee, money, luxuries. Then he pushed further, summoning weapons, armies, even entire cities. In time he realized the truth. There was nothing he couldn't control. With no barriers left, Ethan indulged in his darkest desires. The world became his playground, and he rose from obscurity to reign over the criminal underworld, amassing wealth, power, and absolute dominance. Governments collapsed under his will. Nations trembled in his presence. He was untouchable. Yet in his perfection, a curse emerged. Absolute power was boring. The thrill of conquest faded when no challenge remained. Seeking amusement, Ethan summoned heroes. Enemies forged to oppose him, but he ensured they were always weaker, turning every battle into a game where he was destined to win. The world watched in horror as Ethan played out his twisted fantasies. Cities crumbled beneath his sport. Justice was nothing more than a fleeting spectacle, swallowed whole by his unstoppable force. His power had no end, and soon reality itself began to fracture under his influence. The game begins, one after another. Heroes fell before Ethan's might. He crafted warriors with abilities beyond human comprehension, yet he always made sure they were just a step below him, strong enough to entertain, but never enough to pose a true threat. But then, something unexpected happened. One day, Ethan summoned a hero unlike any other, a champion forged from defiance, someone who refused to play by his rules. No matter how much Ethan controlled the odds, this hero fought back, stronger, faster, unpredictable. Suddenly, Ethan felt something he hadn't experienced in years: excitement. For the first time, he saw the possibility of losing. The battle stretched across continents, the world itself breaking apart under their struggle. But in the end, Ethan refused to be defeated. With one final act, he erased the hero from existence, proving once and for all that he was unstoppable. The fall of meaning victory should have been satisfying, but instead Ethan felt emptier than ever. If he had just erased the greatest challenge he had ever faced, what was left? What was the point of being unstoppable if there was nothing worth stopping? Then in a moment of madness, Ethan devised the ultimate experiment. He would summon a version of himself, a mirror image, identical in strength, intelligence, and ambition. The final battle, Ethan versus himself. But when he did, something horrifying happened. His summoned counterpart smiled, just like him, just as unstoppable. And in that moment, Ethan realized that he had created the only true equal he would ever meet. There would be no winner, no loser, just an eternity of battle, locked in a cycle that could never be broken. And thus the world fell into darkness, ruled by two gods locked in eternal combat. Reality itself trembled beneath them, bending and breaking with every clash. Time became meaningless, existence a never-ending war where neither side could claim victory. In the end, Ethan had everything, but he had also lost everything. For what is a ruler without a world to rule?